Hey,
everybody.
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Yes, it's Friday. It's Friday night.
Friday. How was everybody?
Yes.
How's everybody's week?
It's Friday. My week is
Friday. Less corona free.
Listen, my week was absolutely amazing.
Your week was amazing? So what made
Yes.
it so amazing, ma'am? Talk to me.
I woke up this morning, blood running warm in my veins, and the activity of all my limbs.
Started you on your way. Holly. Yes.
So it was amazing. No need to complain.
Alicia, I see the Lord woke you up and put you in your car.
Listen, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Okay?
I'm not going to tell the folks
where you are.
Yes.
Listen.
In your red background.
Well,
matching your lipstick.
The blood of Jesus.
Yeah. Well, you in the house of the Lord.
Well,
this week we're dealing with Vine. Vine is taking the bull by the horns, and she's gonna ride us into love languages, right?
Yeah. No, she's gonna tell us a story. Vine, tell me a story.
Tell you a story.
Tell me a story.
Actually,
when we were talking about this week's show, it kind of reminded me of a retreat I went on several years ago. And we were talking about the 5 love languages. And I didn't realize that there were 5. I was like, okay, well, what is that? And so, of course, we had to take a test, and there is a test out there that tells you what your love language is. But what I realized is in relationship, not only is it important for you to know your love language and you to know your partner's love language, but a lot of times your love languages need to come together. They need to be able to mesh. So
that's true.
We're going to talk about love languages. I'm just going to list them real quick. You have words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. So Lee, let's start with you. What's your love language?
All of them.
Okay, greedy.
All of them.
Only Leisha.
All of them. Okay.
Okay. Look,
well, you go ahead, Dad.
Selfish. Go pick 1, 2. Narrow it down to 2.
Well, my love language, I am a giver at heart. So I'm a giver, a sharer. We spoke about this a few weeks ago, the things that move us, and the touch. I will give affirmation. I give gifts. I like I said, all of them. I think I fall under the. I think, yeah.
So what would you say is your?
I think I'm just greedy.
What would you say is your biggest one, though? Your main one?
Out of the 5. So let's repeat them again. We'll take it from the top.
Are words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch.
Biggest for me is, I think, time, gifts, time, affirmation. I am a very physical person as well. So like I said, all of them. Stop trying to put me in a box.
Okay.
Don't try to make me something that I'm not. Wait a minute. Get me out that box.
Okay. Daphne?
Ma'am?
What would you say is yours?
Well, I would have to say, if I was to put it from the point of view of me and not receiving, it would probably, I'm stuck with Leisha with a whole lot of different ones, but I'm going to narrow it down to quality time for me giving it, and then gift giving. For me, receiving it from my partner, from the person that wants to catch my attention, it would be gifts and probably affirmation.
Okay. I would say for me, I am unlike you all. I do not have all of the languages working in my life. I can narrow it down, but I would say acts of service and quality time. Those are the two that's big for me. I'm not really big on receiving gifts because I'm a little complicated to buy for or to get things for.
But
So
that makes you fall in with also a third one as a gift giver,
Giver.
because service giver, and that you fall. That's where you fall. So that's more than two, by.
yeah, but
And
I'm
we
gonna
have a
Yeah.
couple of people,
I'm
a
gonna
couple of
say
people in
my
your
main
in the
one.
audience
Hmm.
that are
I think
saying,
that all of us to a small degree fit in those categories, but my strongest ones would be acts of service and definitely quality
Yeah,
time.
I think it's acts of service.
I
and
mean,
Vaughn, is that somebody typing? We got a typewriter. Who got a typewriter?
Firecracker!
That's old school. Wait a minute.
I don't do that.
Firecracker, guys!
Ring.
I'm
Vaughn, you got some people in the audience that's saying quality time is theirs. They're saying hello, by the way. You got Corey saying hello.
Hi,
You got Tim.
everybody.
Yeah. So I think that's the only one I've seen so far is quality time and physical touch and words of affirmation. Those are the three that's been thrown out so far.
So, in knowing what yours is, what would you say meshes with yours? What would be that love language that you would say would perfectly fit with yours?
What has that really easy to determine unless you know the person? Because a person, even though I like to receive gifts, the person that catches my attention might not be a gift person. So how do we do that? How do we do
Well,
that? How do we mush it?
I
How do we incorporate it?
That's where, but that's where it comes down, where, knowing a person's love language, when you get to know a person. It may not be my language, of affirmation, but I'm a server, a giver, affirmation. So that's what I do, but not so much of what I'm looking for. So you may be, different than me, but I need to know what you like so that I can give that. That's why a lot of relationships go haywire, because you're looking for your love language and they have their own love language, which does not meet with yours.
Well, I
so
think I'm just looking for a language, to be honest with you.
so when we talk about love language,
Hey, Connie, let's try Greek.
I totally agree
Right,
with Lisa
French.
in what your love language is. So let's go back. My love language is I love acts of service. That means that acts of service for me, I want to receive acts of service and I want
Yeah,
quality.
the things that you might do.
No, what I want to receive. That's what I want to receive. Now, what I want,
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying, the things people would do for you, right?
what I want in a person, that whether it's a friend or whether it's in a relationship, I look for someone that is on the receiving gift side and probably physical touch, because although I may not be a person that always needs to be touched and wants to be touched, I like to touch. So I would want to be with someone whose love language is physical touch.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I have a question though. Physical touch, you like to give it, but you don't want to receive it.
I don't always need to receive it. That's not my love language. I don't always need someone to hug me, hold
So
me.
how are you going to do that? If they
Walking down,
like to receive it,
what she's saying is she doesn't need somebody every time we walk out the door, you hold in my hand. Come on, hold my hand, and we, skip up the street. She doesn't need, to be wrapped up and tied up with you while we're
okay,
trying to walk. That doesn't mean anything
Vaughn,
to her.
okay, so what kind of physical touch are you wanting to give?
Uh, okay. So when I say like to give physical touch, I'm a toucher. I like to, maybe stroke your hair, hold your hand,
Caress you, yeah.
But I don't want you to stroke my hair. I don't.
Can you use a different word?
Okay.
Caress.
My hair.
Caress.
Caress. I don't want you to do any of that to my
Don't touch my hair.
Don't touch my hair.
Touching the
I don't
face,
mind my hair being touched.
but I don't
I don't
always
care.
need to have that. So that's what I'm saying. What the love language that I mesh with though would probably be that physical touch, and definitely probably receiving gifts, because I like to give gifts. I don't need to receive a gift, but I am a gift giver.
Somebody
But
said
if
they were
you
confused
are
on the
people,
stroking. They were confused on the stroking. I was confused too.
Like,
That's why I needed a new word. A new,
like,
was it a synonym we're trying to find?
Yeah. Stroking.
Ma'am, no.
oh my gosh,
How about rubbing?
not stroking, please.
Rubbing sounds better to me.
Caressing, because I'm wearing
Caressing sounds better.
Caressing.
I mean, but you know what? I really
okay.
I like when, well, let me say this. I would prefer, I'm gonna use my words wisely, someone to, I like the little hair thing and the little, massage thing going on. And I don't mind doing it as well. So, physical touch, that's a part of physical touch, right?
Right.
So I guess
it really
you
is.
throw that one in too.
But there's also a thing, a lot of people read that as well. When you are a couple and you are out, you can read to see how serious a couple is by watching their love language.
You think
Because
so?
I think so, because people who are not intimate are not very touchy. Or people who are not interested, in being intimate, they're not very touchy.
Hi, Martha.
They may be a little extreme. Hey, Mom. Thanks for that, Daph.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Listen.
Because they may be walking, you could be walking and, if you sit in a room with people, for instance, okay, and a couple is in a room, sometimes they reach over and one may put a hand on the other one's thigh. They may, reach out and hold each other's hand. They together.
Well, I don't know if I quite agree with what you're saying when you say if you are somewhat aggressively or intimate in public, that means you got a good bedroom life going on.
That's not what I said.
In the private.
That's not at all what I said. What I said is
that's not.
Wait, let me hear what you said.
Go ahead, Vaughn.
No, go on and repeat it, Leash. What'd you say?
What I said is that you can generally tell a type of relationship a person is in, whether it's an intimate relationship or a close relationship, on their behavior, on, the way they interact with each other. You can tell.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
Let me add to what Leisha's saying.
You can tell if you into somebody.
When I talk about quality time, to me, quality time ties in with the intimacy. So if this is just me. If you're with me and I'm with you and we're in the room, I want you to be in the room.
In my space.
In the room.
In my space. I want you
present.
I want you to give me eye contact. I want you to hear what I'm
saying.
I want your heart to
be
she did. Mine. I want all of that. I don't want to be talking to you. So here, what Leisha's saying is, a lot of times you ever go to like a restaurant or something like that, this is the deadliest weapon in relationship. It's this thing right here. You see people and they're doing this, and both of them how are you into each other if you're both doing something else,
Okay, so I'm gonna piggyback 1 minute because I know we need to stay on task because I think we're floating a little bit again. But I'm gonna say that a couple of people on here are saying that they are intimate and close and touchy and feeling and personal touch in private. I think it was Corey, but he said in public, no. That's what I said. So I disagree with that statement that you can tell, wait, that you can tell that somebody is into somebody based on their mannerisms out in public, because that's not always true. But I see how you're making that judgment, but we're going to get back on.
For the most part, you can generally tell. Even if you walk into a room full of people, okay, and a gentleman is interested in you, okay, if he's interested in you by the gestures he may make, by the things he may do, and even if you're interested in someone else. Say, if you didn't come with someone, Corey, you don't walk down the street and maybe
but you said physical touch
publicly. Physical
said,
touch, I'm getting ready to complete my sentence,
uh-huh.
is you don't walk down the street sometime, or you're in the mall and you don't reach out and hold your girlfriend's hand, or the person that you're, interested in, the person that you're with.
I
That's
guess not
physical
all the
touch.
time.
But here's the thing. I don't think that, I get what Corey is saying. I think that may not be your love language. That may not be what you want, but
That's right. May not be what you
what
desire or need.
the other person wants to receive. Like, I feel the same way. Okay, if that's not, you may be more comfortable in the private setting than the public setting.
Exactly.
Versus the other person, though, may want that public setting. They might want to hold hands. They might want to lay their head on your shoulder.
That's true. That's true.
Well, we got some people out here in the audience is agreeing with you, Vaughn, and kind of agreeing. Let's see. Reese, but it's true. His name is True. He said, I don't need the public, I guess the public intimacy, but either one is okay. I guess he's saying if he's like in that beast mode, that mode that he wants to, be that
he's attracted to someone,
but it's not necessary. Yeah. And it doesn't
but that's like some people are not into public displays of affection, because it's not their thing. That's not their love language, and you have relationships that have really tanked because of that. People don't like public displays of affection, and the other person is all over into it.
I used to be one of those people. I used to be in a
Don't
box,
be
like you
doing
say, Alicia,
Get over me.
closed-minded, not open, like corny. And I'm so not like that now. I would prefer a little holding on the hand sometime, a cute little look, a cute little holding of the around the waist or whatever. That would be nice. That's nice.
And see, I'm just the opposite.
And that's like short affection.
I don't really need all of that in the house.
What you need, Vaughn? What you need?
You can give me. You can buy.
Well, you said in the house.
But when I say that, I prefer the open affection than more so when we're in the house and you're constantly, like when I'm doing my hair and you're trying to hold me and you're trying
like when you said public display. So you're better off with a public display. You like a public display better.
I do.
Well, it's a little less you can do in public, so I guess you.
But I think it's not that. It's the intimacy. It's the holding hands. It's the snuggling up together. It's the walking through the beach, and
Yeah, now the walking of the beach, that'll do it for me. Watching the sunrise, watching the sun set. But look, anybody got any questions for us, or any questions or comments to let me see if I have any here. Okay, here we go. Corey said, we already said what Corey said. Okay, let's see anybody else. Quality time, they're saying again, public display is like half and half. I think they say can take it or leave it. Maybe everyone places too much weight on love language, is what Mr. Reese said.
But how do you know if you are pleasing, satisfying, and with your mate, or compatible with the person that you're into? Because like Dav is saying, my love language could have been one thing one time, but as I've matured, my love language has definitely changed.
Yeah, it changes it can change over time. I think that it changed with maturity. I think it changes when you might go through,
like I just said,
being married 20 years and then getting not being married. That could that could change it.
Sure. I think that it changes in your status a little, from married to single. I think that it does, but at the same time, I think that because we're forever changing, it does change. It does make a difference. I just have never been anything different. I've always been the same. My love language hasn't changed in all my years. So
really,
no, it hasn't.
So let's look at where some people, or if anyone has been in a relationship and they just felt like they were not getting out of the relationship
Oh
what
my
they needed.
gosh, yes.
This is how you know your love language, because you're not getting what you need, and or you're not able to give what the other person desires or needs.
Exactly.
Anybody out there realize that relationship just didn't work because you were just too different?
Well, I guess they didn't pop up. They probably got to type it, but I have something here. It says, funny thing is, most men complain about their women not, I can't see without my reading glasses, initiating physical touch, especially in a sexual or intimate aspect. So love language is important. I think somebody said, why do we focus so much? And then someone came behind them and said, it's important. It's important to know. Well, I'm
It
gonna tell
is
you right now, it's
important.
important because a couple of dating times and so forth, over the years here or there, and I haven't dated too many people, might have been on my one hand, but the ones that I have dated, they missed the mark because they didn't have the love language in
Didn't
mind that I
know what
needed.
your love language was.
What do
Not even
I
in mind. They
need?
didn't know what
You gotta
yours
catch my
was.
attention
They didn't
now.
know what your love language. Yeah. They got to know what
So,
your love language is in order to keep your attention.
and I don't want to
Because
sound shallow, because sometimes when you say gift giving, a lot of people like to shy away from that because they think it's kind of like, you're all about gifts, but that's not it. I like to give gifts. So I don't see anything wrong with sometimes, I'm
that's
not
right.
talking about every 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying, Lee? Hey, I
And
have
the gift is not always a $300
right.
purse.
It could be a
It's
card
not always
with
a
a nice
$300
perfume.
purse.
I mean,
It could be
something.
as simple as thing. Listen, I gave a friend of mine, my husband, when I was dating, I did that, gave my husband a keychain. Because I wanted him to keep me in mind. I wanted every time he went in his pocket to use his keys, I, she gave me this. It wasn't no big thing. It was, I think, it cost me $3. But it was a keychain. And I am going to say, he told me that, every time he stole his keys, he thought about me. And that was because, I gave him this keychain. It wasn't a big deal, but it was a gift that I gave, because I'm a giver, but
Right.
it wasn't because I was giving nothing great big.
Some people are saying that one person said, Mr. True said, they love you, they love you. I guess he's saying there was no book created in the 50s or in the 30s or in the 20s. But guess what? Over time, things evolve.
How old are you, Mr. True?
And they
How
start
would you
doing,
know?
different, they take different tests and different surveys and they realize what works and what doesn't work. But I see what you're saying, Mr. Reese. Yeah, I see.
But I think that, again, getting to know that person is a large part of the love language. Even with, there's so many different books that Gary Chapman did. He did the love languages for marriage, love languages for singles. They're all the same,
Kids.
though. They're all the kids. They're all the same. But it's important that you know what that love language is, because it builds better relationships with people. Whether, it's cousins. I mean, we're all three very, very different,
Very different.
We're very different. And knowing what Daphne's love language is and knowing what Leisha's love language is very important, because it keeps us from bickering and disagreeing all the time.
It does.
Clashing. Same thing with relationships, right? Right.
It's true. You've got to know the person that you're with. You have to know how to, if you don't know their love language, you don't know how to communicate with them.
Exactly.
You don't know, you
It
can't
becomes challenging. It becomes challenging.
Very much so.
I had someone that said that, get this, girls, y'all ready for this? They actually, this person said that women are not complex. What? That's the first time I ever heard a man say it, that we're not complex.
Who said that? Because I'm glad I am not.
Wait.
I am here to tell you, I am not very complicated at all.
But most men don't say that. But he said, just follow the steps. Just follow the steps, and you're good. Follow the steps. What's the steps? I need to know what the steps are.
They said that women are not. He said
not.
That
exactly. He said we are not. Listen, I have a lot of layers. I have many, many layers. There was a dip that's called a 9-layer dip. Listen, I have more layers than that dip. I'm just trying to tell you. I am a chameleon, okay? I can change up on you. I'm just being honest here because I know me better than anybody, But with that being said, when I change up, that's it. It is what it is.
Well, this is the first time I've ever heard somebody say that a woman is not complex. Most of the time I hear men saying we're just a handful and we're so hard to understand, so I'm surprised.
I have a question. In the love languages, which love language do you find most difficult?
Most appealing. Oh, okay.
No, not most appealing, most difficult.
Okay.
I would say for me, okay, acts of service.
Which do you find more?
I would say affirmation because I have to consciously remember that, because sometimes we can get lost in ourselves and lost in everything that's going on, and you forget to pull your mate or the person you with up.
I totally agree. I think that is like the most difficult, and that's why it's important, because when you get with someone, if they're I feel that words of affirmation is needy, but some may disagree.
Wait, does everybody hear that? Vaughn said that words of affirmation, pulling somebody up, encouraging them, pushing them, I guess
means
all those little sweet little
needy.
Feel like that $100,000 is needy.
So for me, I do. I have to.
Wow.
I struggle with that because I have to affirm you all the time. I have to tell you.
Well, we're not saying all the time.
Well, it may not even be all the time. We're saying that sometimes you say, "Oh, baby, your beard looks so good."
Yeah.
Or, wow. You smell so good. Oh my goodness. You went away for the weekend and I smelled you here on the pillow all weekend. Ooh, I'm telling you. It could be, it could be anything. It's not,
like, baby, you rode that bike for 30 minutes knowing he only rode it for 10.
I'm not talking about that. Typically, I've come across the word, and this is why I'm saying it. I tend to gravitate, or they gravitate to me, whichever you want to say, to the people who their love language is words of affirmation, and they're
well, their love language, because they give them all the time. But you are a person that accepts and that what is it? I won't say you need that. You don't need it, but it's accepted well. You don't mind nobody minds to get compliments, but you like that a lot.
Do you guys think, somebody said, I think it was Corey, the steps, Tim was cracking up, but the steps that they were talking about, Reese was talking about, was knowing, if you know their love language, what they like, what they want, follow the rules. Hey, follow the rules. You'll stay out of the doghouse and you'll stay in the bed.
Well, and that's where you have to find out, what are the rules? What are the rules?
That's what he's saying. He's saying the steps, meaning whatever we have in place, whatever we want, make sure she's happy. I'm happy.
He's got it. Somebody told him right.
Somebody told him well.
He's got it. Life. Happy wife, happy life.
Exactly.
He's got it.
He got it. This is an interesting question. Someone said, statement rather, that a lot of the love languages that we have adopted or taken in for ourselves are probably from our childhood or parent relationships.
I totally agree. Absolutely.
It is. It has to do a lot to do with the way you were raised and what you were taught to do. And I think that's why I am such a server. That's why I give and, I serve. It's just part of who I am.
Well, I think that too, learned behavior, maybe, like.
Maybe learned behavior. I would agree with that. Learned
behavior. It may not, but I think that it's always though that room for correction, because if you came from the learned behavior of giving, it can be an overkill, so you may have to make some minor adjustments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when you're always wanting to receive gifts.
And I think you're right, because it can become greedy,
Oh yeah,
selfish, and
it
that
will
word
be
you
looked
always
at
say,
as
Vaughn,
that's
is
right.
that famous word you say, Vaughn? Needy. Needy. Because I know my mother is a gift giver. She is a gift giver. Definitely gift giver. I think I did adopt that from her. You know, showing your love and
Yeah,
your
we're
appreciation for somebody for giving them stuff. Yeah.
Well, my mom is too.
through gifts and service.
She's a big gift giver. Now I noticed as I've gotten older, I don't find it as exciting to give gifts because I don't really want to go and find that special gift. I prefer to just, I'm sorry, don't judge me, but I'm just gonna cash app you.
Well, you know, I feel like I want to do that sometime too, Vaughn, but I feel like that's a cop out sometimes, especially when you care about somebody authentically, right?
And when you know the person very well.
I do. I care about your cash app, and I just want.
But I'm with Dav.
Okay.
You have to know the person. You have to know the person, and if for me, don't cash at me. If like Vaughn, if she's giving me a birthday present and she cash apps me, I know it's coming from her heart and her soul, because she really means it. She wants me to have what I want to have. Just here, baby. I love you and happy birthday.
But you
Because
know
that's
what?
who she is.
So wait, so Leash, so
But
I guess
for me, but wait a minute, me as a gift giver, because she's a giver, I'm a giver, but me as a gift giver, I like to shop for the person. But there's a catch to that. I'm not buying anything that I don't like.
yeah.
Not just because it may fit the person, but I'm going to shop for that person. It brings me joy, to shop for that person just to see how well I really do know them.
But you know what?
I don't like shopping for people because that's like
too much work.
It's a lot of work, and so I don't really want to.
Come on, man.
And that's where the love language of time comes in. That's where the love language of time, because you've taken your time to pick out this gift. And people, they look at that.
She told me, she said, I registered my gifts. Did you? And before she could even get it out, I said, I'm going to give you cash app.
Oh, Felicia, I know you like gift giving because I know you sent me a gift about 3 years ago.
And she
yes,
pretty, and she makes them look lovely. So here's the thing: if I buy you a gift, then now I gotta take another step to go get a bag to put it in, and I gotta put some.
Listen,
Vaughn, they calling you boring. They're calling you boring. It's very boring and simple.
You gotta be creative. It's all in the imagination.
I'm very creative.
You're talking about holding the hand.
I'm not gifts in that area. It's like a lot.
Somebody put their cash app. Oh, they put their cash app. Wait, I'm gonna put mine up there too. Wait a second.
Wait a minute.
Jatim said she's a giver. She can't do gift cards on Christmas. I gotta go get the perfect tangible. Yes, Jatim. Yes, girl. I'm rooting for that. Yes. Birthdays are different. She said, I will gift card and cash app that for birthday. For Christmas, I love Christmas.
Well, Christmas is my favorite holiday anyway.
Mine too.
But it's not because of the gifts. It's just because it's so beautiful. It makes people are kinder, they're more in love, everything.
Not only do I not like giving gifts, like going out and getting them, I don't want you to do it for me because I'm like, here's my cash.
I don't want that. I don't want that. I go get my own stuff.
And that's probably the thing. Most people find they think you can look at a person and think that you know what they like, but you really don't. And so
somebody said it's too stressful. Too stressful to go get gifts for people. That's what Janie Jones said.
It's like, then I gotta open up the box and then I gotta put
Now, Vaughn, Reese was agreeing with you. He was saying you cash app. That's why he put his cash app down there. But I'm just saying, Cash App is fun. It's
Listen.
good. Of course,
If
everybody uses Cash App.
when the Cash App pulls up and says that you gave me $1,000, Reese, I'm gonna be happy.
Hey,
But wait, the thing
gonna be happy
is, I
too.
never spend the cash usually on myself.
Oh, well, that's not true. I am.
I spend it on bills or whatever, or other people.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, when
If you
people
Cash
cash at me,
spend every penny on me.
when people cash at me, what I did was I decided to cash app. I have a Cash App card as well as to the account. And when people cash at me, I put the Cash App money on the card. So I make sure that the card is spent on Leisha.
Thank you.
Lisha.
It goes to my account and it's spent
On
on
Well,
me.
Vaughn, you got some
Me.
people dropping their cash apps. I'm about to drop mine too. Wait a minute. Let me find mine. I don't know about heart. That's a shame, right? I'm about to find it.
Listen,
we done got all
I'm
personal
on
information.
the internet.
I'm about to find my cash app. Hold up.
Mine
It's
too.
$ DAP 1968. Vaughn, drop me 1,000.
Mine is I am Lady B. Put that in there.
That's a shame. A shame.
There you go.
But
And
anyway,
listen, you know
the
mine-
love languages, the love
mine is
languages, the love
$,
languages.
my whole name.
25s, hundreds, 50s, and thousands.
Okay, back to the
Y'all a
love
mess.
languages. The love language. I'm about to drop mine. Bond gonna send me a gift. Dropping it.
Listen, claiming it.
Name
Claiming it.
Claim it. It's yours.
Yours. A mess.
Come on, Clark sisters. Yes.
Well,
So much for the giving.
so let's move on. What's your next one?
So I was saying that was the one I didn't like, and Daphne said that was not the one, but you never said which one you didn't like.
I did.
You died.
Oh, no.
No.
What were they?
Oh,
Yeah, no.
a senior moment.
Yeah, because I am a
What's the
senior.
love language that you don't miss? That you're telling me that?
Would you?
I don't know. Like I said, in the very beginning, because I fall under all of them, and I am. I think I have. I might have a little problem with people being servient to me.
Okay.
I don't mind. But no, I got it. No. Oh, you don't have to do that. I got it. That might be the thing that doesn't work for me. That might be it. But other than that, and it's only because I'm the server, I'm the giver, I'm the I give the affirmation. So it's hard for me to accept,
Right.
but I'm learning in my maturity.
Well, I'm
Sit
gonna
back
tell you.
and accept some of these things my mother said are my blessings. She said,
Yes.
sit
Yes.
back and be blessed.
Yes. I used to have a hard
said.
time. Hey, Leash, have you ever had somebody, Vaughn or Leash, that would just hand you money, like, here's $10, just
Yes.
send you something, just because you like, oh, no.
Oh,
you don't
no.
have to do that. I used to do that.
No.
I used to do that. No,
I
it's
never
okay.
did.
Don't worry about it. No, you're supposed to take it and say thank you so much and shout around the room. Dun, 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 dun.
Never done that. Ever.
I had a hard time accepting things because I felt like that's what I do. That's what I do. But my mother said to me something that she said, one of the mothers said to her years ago, don't turn away your blessings.
Right.
Don't turn away your blessings. Sometimes it's okay just to say thank you. Very hard thing for me to do.
So, anybody else out there have any questions for us personally, or have any questions concerning the topic, or have anything to throw out? We want to hear from you. Check it. What are we talking about? Girl, you got your Tim putting her cash out. Everybody just Vaughn, you're gonna be broke.
Cha-ching.
It's broke.
Cash App Friday.
So anyway, so is anybody has anybody really mastered your love languages? I mean, I know Leisha's married, so she's gonna have to say yes anyway.
Cha-ching.
I definitely have not.
Yeah.
Well, no, I take that
Keep close.
I'm gonna take that back. I
Yeah.
have, because I can say that for me, when you say love language, are you talking about for myself? The
Yeah,
one that
they're giving it to you, what you need, not.
I've never, no, I have not gotten that yet.
Yeah.
Well, nobody is perfect, and you're
That's what it
never
is.
going to
We got to
always.
sometimes bend. The
I was gonna say
the
you're
rule, but the
never
rule can be
always going to
bend or
get
bend.
what you're never always going to get what you're looking for,
I'll
and you
take.
What
cannot
you
blame
mean? What
people.
you mean?
Listen,
Wait.
let me finish. Let me finish.
I'm listening.
You are
No,
never
I'm
always going to
listening.
get what you need if people don't know
What
what
you
you
want?
need. People are not mind readers. And I am a big, big fan of speaking your mind.
But the
If you
thing
don't
is,
tell people what you want,
I
they
have.
are not going to know what you want.
There are many times that I have communicated what I want, but that's not what I get. So that's why I'm like, just cash at me now.
Okay, so someone said, I think it was Corey, I guess he's trying to say he did figure out that love language thing. I think that's what he means. After he got his divorce and when he had to do a self-assessment, that's important. A
Yeah.
self-assessment and being honest about himself.
Well, I think that a lot of times, and this goes back to knowing the person that you're with. When a person shares with you, okay, their love language is giving. They like to receive gifts. Okay, so now you have to look at yourself. You have to say, okay, well, am I a person? Now, I may be a problem for that person.
Might be.
And that needs to be communicated before you get married or get serious, because if that's not something that you're strong in, that may make
Not
that
now.
person feel like they're not
Also,
really important.
that's right. But also, if the person means enough to you, you will
Come
say,
on.
okay,
Come on,
let
Leash.
me make sure
You better
I
come
don't
on.
forget
Bring
that
it.
birthday. Let me make
Yes.
sure I don't forget that anniversary. Let me make
Yes.
sure I don't forget. Now, all that other stuff in between, because baby, it was Wednesday, is different. Here's a cash app. Baby, it was, this is our first date. Here's a cash app. Hey, that's cool. But sometimes you have to take the time to say, you know what, they mean enough to me. I'm just going to do what needs to be done for that person because you want to speak their language. When I went to Mexico, I didn't speak a lick of Spanish, but guess what? After 7 days, okay,
You got a little bit in. You figured it out.
a little bit, and now I still don't know nothing because I'm back in America.
Back in America.
I promise you.
And you know what? That could be why I'm by myself.
Oh, honest. Well, Jatim said, yes, Leisha, we must be honest and clear. Reese said he did all of that and still got divorced.
Oh.
Well, baby, I'm just going to say maybe that one wasn't the
loss.
one for you.
Her loss.
So I'm just going to say if you break some eggs, make an omelet and buy some more.
Yes. Buy another one.
That's all.
You have one.
Listen,
Like if that toy is broken,
your shoe,
if that toy
go
breaks,
get you some new shoes. Get
look,
you a
Leisha,
new one.
If that Fisher Price toy breaks, but Dawn, I'm gonna go get me a new toy.
And listen, it may not even be Fisher Price's toy, but if it's broken, get a new one.
Yeah.
That applies to people too. If they're broken, dismiss them. Let it go. Get you a new one. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Wait. You're trying to tell me, and I don't want to go into another subject because that is another subject.
Yes.
You're trying to say if somebody is broken, get another one?
Listen, when I say a broken person, I'm not talking about someone who is just, they're falling apart, they're having a nervous breakdown, they're having a bad day. I'm talking about when the relationship with that person is broken. If your relationship is broken with that person, you don't need that. I got to go.
Got you.
And then get you a new one.
Well, it's not that simple. Like Vaughn said. She said maybe that's why she's by herself. Vaughn, you ever thought about maybe your expectations? Not to say that our expectations should not be high. Do not get it twisted. I'm saying, set the bar so extremely high that we can't leave room for people to fill it. feel our insides, feel us, be with us, because we expect
Make adjustments,
so much.
Yeah, to make adjustments for us.
So those love languages have to be adjusted sometime, I think. I really do. Maybe we need to
Yeah.
adjust yours, Vaughn.
I don't think
She's perfectly happy
say the
the
right
way
word,
she
but
is.
I don't think so. I don't think that expecting what you want is too much. I don't think that it's expecting.
Oh no, that's exactly what we're saying.
Leisha just said something and you just said something. If I know that your love language is, in all realness, if I know that it is you love to receive gifts, yes. If I love you, I'm going to make the absolute effort.
But what about when you're getting to know them to love them?
What do you mean?
You don't love them because you don't know them yet, and you already found out what their love language are and what they're not doing. And
I'm still good. If
Well,
I'm
you
getting
make an adjustment. Sometimes you make adjustments.
yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you're building a relationship, whether it's friendship, whether it's a relationship, whether whatever it is, you're gonna make that effort. You are. What I'm saying is,
Time to go.
if my love language is acts of service. Now let's talk about what acts of service is. Acts of service is, I don't want you to be a person to say I love you. I don't need that. I don't need to tell me every day of the week that you love me 200 times. Because I don't care.
Nisha has told us the other day that that's what her husband does, and she's good with it.
Listen, let me tell you something. I asked my husband honestly one day. I said to him, "Who you trying to convince, you or me?"
No, I don't want
Because and I was just in a bad mood that day, and he showed me something. You know, I was just in a really bad mood that day, and I should not have said that to him, because I think for the next few days I didn't hear it all, and I was like, "What's wrong with you?"
Where's my love?
what I'm saying is,
What's wrong with you?
to me, a lot of times words are cheap. You can say a whole lot of things.
That's true.
Words are cheap.
That's true.
And my mother says the same thing, but she says, action, I can show you better than I can tell you.
You can tell me that you love me, and I'm struggling up the door with 20 million things in my head. And I had to get to the car. I had to carry it.
That ain't love.
And everything.
That's right.
And you turn around and you say, bye, honey. I'll see you later. I love you. I'm like, really?
Love is what it does. That's right. But there are some people.
Tim said we're her beautiful cousins. So sweet. Reese said no more death to us part. Now I used to say that, but I don't say that anymore.
I have no comment.
No comment on that, Reese. I'm sorry, Mr. True. No more death to us part. You might want to reevaluate that. Bond, some advice for you. Your love language may be getting in the way, so let love happen.
Who said that?
Mr. Reese.
No.
Really, Reese? On Cash App.
He on you. Let it go. Let it go.
Let it go.
On Cash App. This is over. See.
Well, this has really been a good topic. These love languages.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry, Leisha. I gotta correct this. I made a mistake. Mr. Reese was not saying no death to us part. He was saying the question to you. So no more death to us part? Question mark.
Well, just before we wrap this up, let me say this to that. When people say till death do us part, I know they have the intention and they mean, death as in the physical sense. But you have to realize that sometimes your physical does not die, but your relationship does.
It dies, yeah.
Okay, so there's your death, and then you do part.
You do part. All right, come on.
Okay, so
I would like to say, and this probably is going to be shocking coming from me, I do believe until death do us part. I do. I would like to for once have that experience. I would like to be in a place where, I'm really into you into me, we have intimacy, and it ain't going to end until we leave.
I'm trying to think what that saying is. Not that someone you can't live with. It's someone you can't live without. That's what it is. We're not looking for someone that we can live with. We're looking for someone that we can't live without.
Yeah,
has
and
been
I
a
want that
great.
same thing. I want that, and I know it's not for everybody, or at least everybody says it's not for them. But I'm with you, Vaughn.
Those glasses is
I
cute. Then.
want,
They were.
and you know, it's disappointing that it didn't happen the first time. Where Vaughn, the first, the second, the third, the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh,
Hey, watch it.
But anyway,
That was
it
my
didn't happen the
business
first
on
time. So,
You
but
see, I
you know,
didn't do me
if
to
it's gonna
too.
happen again, I want it to be the last time. Death to his part. Yes.
I mean, like Barry White, my first, my last, my everything.
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 well, it can be. All right, guys, it has been real.
Yes.
We've had this was a really good one. I know we kind of, talked a lot
good
among
one?
ourselves.
What does good one mean?
Fun. Lots of do I really look like I'm on the beach?
You look like you
You on
in the
something.
sunset.
You on something. I'm still the
Look
blood
like
of
you
Jesus.
stuck in the sunset.
It was supposed to.
But it's been great, y'all, and we getting ready to wrap this up because we've been with y'all a little bit longer than we normally do. And Vaughn wants you to send y'all her Cash App.
I appreciate it. Mine is I am Lady V.
Wait, mine is already posted. My Cash App. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Cousin4Life.
Cousins for